So the next session is workshop, and it's titled Building SimCity 2000, Unleashing the Power of Flame Engine and Flutter, and presented by Ayman.
Konnichiwa. So, hi everyone. Quick note, it's called Building SimCity 2000. It was meant to be a workshop, but due to the time limitation and so on, it will be like a sharing session about the isometric coordinates in game development. So I see most of the people have a problem with pronouncing my name. So you can call me Ayman or Adam, whatever you want to call me, I don't mind. So let me briefly share about myself. I'm CTO of Kuwait Information Technology at Dubai UAE, United Arab Emirates. And before that, I used to freelance for Flutter for 5 years. I have delivered more than 27 mobile apps, some of them already published in Play Store, App Store. The most known one for me is Rentib in United Arab Emirates. It's car rental, and iCarrick as one-stop solution for EV chargers in UAE also. And Kuwait is e-commerce app in MENA region. So, before I start into my session, who play video games here? Yeah, a lot of people. Japan is one of the leading countries in game development, actually. So I will be surprised if no one here play video games. Okay, anyone joined the Global Gamers Challenge other than Sasha? No one, oh my god. On 2, 3. That's good, that's good. Okay, I started my journey with game development by Global Gamers Challenge. So I'm sharing the knowledge that I got it from it, but I'm not like experienced in Flame Engine or anything. I'm just sharing the information I got on it. So let me quickly talk about the history of 2D game development. So back in the years when the game development started, they didn't have the capabilities or the knowledge to make a 3D perspective game. So they used to make top-down or side-view games. One of the famous one is Pac-Man. It's by a Japanese company. I think it's called Numaku. I'm not sure. You can correct me. And things changed when Sega, Japanese company, introduced a game called Zaxxon. Zaxxon is the first game using the 3D perspective. It's not a 3D, it's just a 2D, but faking 3D using linear algebra. We will talk about that later. And SimCity later used the same concept as Zaxxon, but for city building game. So, we will talk about isometric coordinates in game development. For sure nowadays there is 3D render engines, but Flutter Flame is still into 2D games. So if we want to make a game that has a depth of view of 3D, we have to use what they used back in the years, which is isometric coordinates. So isometric coordinates is just a method of visually representing three-dimensional objects in two-dimensional. Thanks to linear algebra and matrices especially, we can't achieve that. We have like a 2D, we change it to 3D. And right now we will take a look how that can happen by math. So before that, let me show this because I like it. This one, because most of the people hate math. All right, so we will go to here to the whiteboard, okay? So we have a grid like that, okay, X and Y. And we want to give it a depth perspective to be feeling like 3D. So we will change it to this one. A very example way, just let me get the pen, all right. So When we change it, we can see like there is here one change, okay, and 0 is here is half, okay, and by here it's just like -1 and also half. So by matrices, we will just, okay, sorry for the bad writing, I'm writing with, oh my god. Anyway, so just to convert that, we will have like x and matrices of 1 and 0, 5. All right. Sorry about that. I'm suffering a bit. Okay, and y matrices of -1 and 0 point, oh my god, it's very weird 0. Oh my god. Sorry guys, sorry about that. Yes, thanks so much. All right, so after that we have a tile width and tile height. So for each a tile, it has a width and height. So to do that also, let me first summarize this one. We will have like x minus y, just a simple algebra, nothing is fancy here. 0.5x plus 0.5. Oh my god, you guys are laughing on me, I'm suffering here. Anyway, all right, so let's go down. So, and just to convert this one to also support the tile width and height of the things that we will show later on these coordinates, we will have to multiply x by the width of the tile and y multiplied by the height of the tile. All right, and also same here will happen. Just bear with me, I'm suffering, I'm trying to make it. So 0.5 y times height. All right, that's cool. But we still have a problem. If we can see here, okay, we are just taking the half of the grid here. We are not taking the whole grid. So if this is our box, we want to show it in 3D perspective. Even oh my god, I have a very bad drawing here. All right, so we will have like this is empty and these two is empty. So we are only using the half of the grid. So we have to have these things here. So this will become like 0.5 x multiplied in width, 0.5 y multiplied tile height, 0.5 0.25. I almost forget math. Anyway, okay. So because I'm suffering, you already got it. I think so. So this the base simple one to convert from Cartesian regular grid system to isometric grid system. Also, this is simple, but when we go to the game development, we don't use that because we have to make math for each thing we are doing. So maybe you have an offset, maybe you have a different rotation, maybe you have a different thing, so you will have to make the calculation from the beginning. All right, there is a simple way which we will use it in the code later, but before I go with that, let's take a look about all the transformation matrices here. So for anything we want to make, all right, stretching, squeezing, rotation, zooming, everything has a matrices. We have to go back and see the matrices and then do the calculation to make our game. When we talk about game development especially, a lot of math involved. Even if we are not using Flutter and Flame and we are going with 3D, also there is a lot of math. So if you hate math, you have to find another thing rather than game development. Anyway, so, all right. So I think we will just try to make a symbol to just make the isometric coordinates in Flutter and Flame by coding right now. So I will just go to the terminal and make a new project. Thanks so much. All right, let's find for, I think I made the folder called SimCity. Let's go to FlutterNinjas. All right. And make me a new file. Let's call it live. Flutter create. Oh my god. It's not a. Sorry? Oh yeah, sorry. All right. What I called it, I already forget. Okay. Thanks so much, by the way. So, here we have a Flutter project, which we use to see it every time we make a new Flutter app. Let's get rid of all of these, delete it. Let's get rid of all of these also because I hate to see errors. A personal problem. All right. So, first thing we will need to get it is just the flame dependency. So we will get the flame and we will make a folder here called assets, and inside the assets we have to make images. Inside it we make another folder, tiles, a lot of folders, sorry about that. Anyway, inside the tiles we will get a simple tile to use it for today. Maybe I pick it from here. Alright, to here. These are tiles that we will use when we try to get like a game assets for 2D. There is a lot of websites. Famous one is Open Games Art. You just go there and search for isometric. You will get a lot of stuff. You download it. You will get information about it, like the tile height, tile width, rotation, everything. So you can just include it in your project and do your calculation. Also, there is this one. It's also very famous. Also, we have this one. So I will just stick with the simple one, this one. Alright, so first we will initialize like the flame widget. So we go here, make a new file, call it game, as simple as that, class ninjas game. I forget writing right now. Okay, extends flame game. Alright, and go back to here. We will remove that and just get the game widget from flame and pass to that the ninja game we just made. Okay, we have it. Alright, we will come to here. We have first to initialize the game height. Just game height, for example, let's say it's 500 and final game width 2. Oh my god, width 500. Let's say on load and initialize the camera component we will use to see the world which we will create. So maybe late final camera component camera, and here we will just add that to the Flutter game. So we will say add camera equal camera component with fixed resolution. We will pass whatever variables we have done just now, like game width, game height, and it's saying it can't take integer. It take double, so let's change this one to double. So yeah, and we will also do the viewfinder. Oh, it has a wrong. Alright, viewfinder. It's wrong too, so I'm suffering here anyway. Alright, anchor, and we will make it as top left for now. And then we will go to initialize our world, which will have the coordinates for grid and tiles. So we will go with world.dart. We will call it class ninjas world. So yeah, we will come back to here. Let's do world. Oh my god. World ninja world. and just okay, and pass that later to this camera, so we are viewing this world. Alright, and adding that to the game too. Alright, so we will come back to here. We want to make our grid, but before we make the grid, we need also to introduce the tile. So we have to make a file called tile. We have inside the flame component called the sprite. So whenever we want to initialize an image or something, we just use a sprite component. So here we will do like tile extends sprite component, and on load we will just pass the image, just put it in the assets, tiles dot grass dot bng sprite dot load, and these asynchronous await here. Alright, and we also have to put the assets here to include it. So we make here assets, images, tiles, and alright. So we have the sprite component. We can go back to the world. We can make a list of tile to make our grid. Alright, so we include this one, and then on load. Alright, we have to make a function getting the grid. So this function will take the tile width and tile height. So let's say double tile width, double tile height. Also will take the how is the height of our grid and the width of our grid. So we will pass that to. Oh, I forget English already. Okay, right. Grid width. So we will return a list to generate. We'll pass first. Let me do the semicolon. First we will pass the grid height. Then we will make another list generate. We will pass the grid width, and let's call that alright. So we will return here tile. Alright. And the tile we have to give it a position. So let me check from here. It was alright. So we have to give it a position. So we go back to here, we have position. Alright, and we will give it times tile width and tile. Alright. So we have to include this grid to our game. So to include it, first we have to change it to a component. So let's make a class to change that to a component. So this will be like last component tiles. So we have to pass that back. Alright. So we have to add it to the game. Yeah, but I think we have to make this one asynchronous. Add it all. Let's give it the components we just made. I call it tiles already. So we are done just adding, getting the grid first. Let's initialize the grid width and height. So the tile width is 100. Let's initialize that. Tile width is 100 and the tile height is 50. For example, we will make our grid is grid width like 20 and a grid height 20, for example. We pass that to here. Alright, tile height and the grid width, grid height. Alright. The tile width was to be double. Same here, and this to be integer. So we already get our grid, just add it to the game. So we'll just get rid of this, I trust. Alright, so we will introduce the tiles, the component we just made. Also we can trust ChatGPT or Copilot for that, I think. Let's run this one. Alright, how you guys doing? It's boring? Be honest about it. Alright, we will see now. Let's wait. Okay, it's running. How you guys doing? All is good? Alright. I'm suffering here. I'm not good, actually. So, yeah. I hope it works. Okay. Okay, it didn't work. Alright. Let's see what's going on here. I think I initialized already here in the load, so just a minute. Alright. So. Initialize before. I think so. I don't think so, but let's try it because it's already giving an error. So let's try it. Alright. I'm trying to get the. Thanks so much. It's like camera component. What's going on here? Why it's not working? Sure, maybe I will just. Okay, sorry guys about that. Well, yeah. All right, let's run again and see what's going on here. I think nothing is different. But Thanks so much, you guys. But we did something wrong, if you can see here. We switched the tile width with tile height while we are making the grid. So let's fix this one first. We go back to the wall. And here, and instead of, yeah, thanks so much. I think I checked from here too because, yeah, it was most to be grid width and grid height. And if we not reload, interesting. So
944 shouldn't be that title width and then title height.
oh, you mean here?
44.
44.
Now 46.
All right.
Will be title.
All right. Yeah, here we go. So, as we can see in the regular grid system, there is a gap here, it's not connected. So now we will just do offset, okay? Because already we have the tile or the sprite with a 3D view. So we have, if we are implementing points and the sprite itself inside the flame, like we are drawing the points and the objects inside flame, we will have to start from the beginning. But for here, we will just do the offset to connect this grid to be isometric grid. So we will just change a bit of here. So I think it's just doing offset. If is even, it will be 0. If not, it will be like tile height. And here we will just get half of the tile height. And if we reload here, okay, something is wrong. 46. No. And I think I just have to switch this once. So, yeah, here it's connected already. So we change it from our regular coordinates to isometric coordinates, which is used in the most isometric games back in the years. So back to the slides. So these won't to mention while I was going anyway. So for city building game development, we have like 2 main points. The isometric, okay, for manipulating the coordinates from grid point to isometric grid system, and also from isometric forward vector to worlded vector, from grid point to isometric point, from isometric point to worlded point. So a lot of manipulation. So the game will become complex, but that's what used back in the years to make a game look like a 3D perspective. And also we have for city buildings construction and deconstruction and so on. So you just have a grid system with the tiles. You change the tile type and what it's showing just to make a city building. So after what we have done just now, maybe we just take a look on a game already submitted to Global Gamers Challenge, and it's already one of the winners. They use that to make a very interesting game. So if we go here, we have this game. All right, let's make that. We have a very interesting game, city building, or it's not a city building, but it's the same concept. So you can just have routes, it has a feeling of 3D game and so on. So yeah, that was all for me. Arigato. Yeah.
Thank you very much for attractive workshop. So we have 10 minutes for Q&A session. So you have any questions or, yeah, please raise your hand.
Yeah, thank you very much for the talk.
Thanks so much.
The result is very impressive. Is the code open source? So could we have a look?
Yeah. As the code is open source, I will be sharing on Slack. You can take a look on it.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, for the M game and also for what we have done just now, but I think it's useless since the M game repo is already open source.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Since this one build using Flutter, how to realize if the game on App Store or Google Store is built using Flutter or they use Flame?
Thanks so much for your questions. There is an app called Flutter Shark. You can download it. It will show to you whether the app is built using Flutter or not.
Like this Flutter chart, like search engine or what?
Yeah, it's like search engines for the apps, whether it's built by Flutter or not.
Okay, got it.
Thanks so much.
So you said you're new to the game engine.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about your general impressions of learning that and using that and how easy the onboarding or whatever it was.
Actually, it's awesome. It's more easier than interacting with other game engines since you already know Flutter. But the only problem for me is just you have to go with a lot of math to understand the things and how it's going on. So it's not related to the engine or Flutter, it's just the math itself.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your question.
Hi, thanks for the
Hi.
talk. Just a short question. If I want to build a game, do I need any skills to make graphics, or can I find everything in the internet? So, so because I think I'm not a designer, I'm a programmer.
Yeah.
So are there sources for buildings and
Yeah,
whatever?
the website I just mentioned,
Yeah.
it has all the assets and everything, and some of them is also paid. Like you have to pay to get a very decent
Okay.
art for the game
But
you
there
are
are
making.
huge libraries. I will find.
Yeah.
everything. Okay, that's good.
Thanks so much for your question. I was curious what you are going to ask. ChatGPT, actually, I tried a lot with Flutter Flame, but I think was there something like called Flame before Flutter Flame, so he don't update it to Flutter Flame. He usually give a wrong code.
No, but I didn't mean the flame itself, but for the assets that you mentioned. I think
Oh.
even the assets you can generate it. So today it's really easy.
I tried also pixel art through sometimes AI, but it didn't
Really?
didn't go well.
I think there is an AI specific for.
Maybe,
for
I don't
pixel
know,
art.
to be
Yeah,
honest.
I've seen it. I didn't have a question.
Thanks for amazing
Thanks so much.
presentation. I'm also making RPG by Flutter, but I'm using Bonfire, not Frame, and then Bonfire is stemming from Frame.
Yeah.
Do you know Bonfire, or are
I
you
didn't
using
use it, but I heard about it, to be honest with you. And also, I think there is a lot of resources about Bonfire. I think by Carrick, you can like search YouTube. You will get a lot of resources about. Yeah, thanks so much.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else? Actually, I have two of my friends who won the first prize for Japanese Google Wallet API segment in GCC, so maybe you can talk with them. later.
All right.
So ask the speaker corner. Yeah, them.
Yeah. Sure.
Or any questions? Nope. Okay. So thank you very much for your attractive workshop and Q&A session. So please give him a big round of applause, please. So we have now we have a longer break for 30 minutes. So the next session is starting at 3:50. So go to the Ask the Speaker corner or visit sponsor booth, please. Thank you.